Alright guys, Dark Aperture here, back with a computer build video. This time it's a $1,000 All-AMD game PC build. And this build will be based on an 8-core processor and a Radeon graphics card, and of course the 8-core is an FX processor, which rates is from AMD. The graphics card is made by MSI and AMD technically, so I pretty much spoiled a lot of it. And that's pretty much it. I'll have to say for the introduction. It's pretty good. Has SSD caching. Okay. Let's move on. First up, we've got the parts list. If you've watched my videos before, you know the drill. Got some somewhat unusual choices here, but many are pretty similar. Okay. That's it for the parts list. Moving on to the processor. First, for the processor, we'll be going to the AMD FX A320. Now this is basically a slightly cut down version of the FX A320, and it's pretty similar in performance for just $20 less. It's also pretty much like the i5 3570K. It can do rendering on somewhat near level of an i7, but it doesn't game as quite as well in most cases if you both have both the processors at the same clock speed. AMD this AMD processor has a very good balance between gaming and rendering, as all the AMD processors do this generation, and by that I mean the pile drivers. Okay, that's all I have to say. It's an 8-core, $108, good overclocking. Okay, moving on. Next up, what we use is the RAM. For the RAM, we have Corsair Vengeance 8GB of DDR3 1600. You know the drill, it's fast, reliable, it's got a great heatsink, and oh, I said fast twice. Yes, it's just fast, okay? It's fast. Great heatsink, great price. You could probably overclock this if you want to, if the motherboard supports it. $60, it's a very good deal. Alright, moving on to the motherboard. The motherboard is the ASRock 990FX Extreme Free. It should have very good overclocking, since it is 990FX. So you should get good overclocking. Even with the stock cooler you could, but you can always add an aftermarket cooler down the line. Just try not to get too big, otherwise it might not fit with the RAM. This board's also got USB free, a PCI free slot or two. Actually, 2 PCI free slots, yeah. It's got USB free, set at 6GB a second, so you can have a high-end SSD in here later if you want. It's also got very good reviews, which means it should be a very good and reliable board. Considering you get all this for $120, it's a good deal. Okay, now to the most important part of the build. The most important part of any gaming build, the optical drive. No, just kidding. It's a graphics card. For the graphics card, it's the MSI R7950 Twin Frozer Range G7950 3GB. Now this is the Twin Frozer MSI cooler with a lot of heat pipes, two great fans, and a very good fan design. It's got 3GB of memory, so all the 7950s do, so you can get some surround on it. Just run it. You can run it at 1080p at high settings, and some games that without surround you can normally run at 1080p at ultra settings. But no big deal, it still looks excellent. You have surround, which is pretty awesome itself. It also outperforms the 660 Ti of a similar price. 660 Ti is a bit cheaper, consumes a bit less power, but hey, we're not even going to be using this since this is all AMD. Okay, and I've already covered the cooler, and it's $355, which makes it some pretty good deal. Alright, for the hard drive, instead of a Western Digital 1TB Caviar Black, we'll go with the next best thing, Seagate Barracuda 1TB, 7200 RPM, pretty similar performance. It's still very reliable, gets very good reviews, and the price at $8 is a steal. Are the police watching me here? Okay, moving on. Moving on to the caching SSD, same as the $630 build, it's a SanDisk Ready Cache 32GB SSD. Now, I realized after looking at some videos that SanDisk made to advertise this SSD, well, in particular just one video, that they've got their own bundled software, so you don't need the Intel Smart Cache to use this for a caching SSD. As out of the box, you can just plug it in, it'll support caching right out the box. Considering its high speeds, 480 megabytes a second read, 110 megabytes a second write, you've heard it all before. It should have some pretty good boost here compared to performance. Make Windows boot faster enough. Okay. And the price is only $50, which makes it a very good deal. Not the world's best deal, it's above $1 a gigabyte, but whatever. It's still a good caching drive. Okay. Now for the power supply, the Corsair CX600M 600-watt power supply. Now I was looking around a lot for this power supply because I could get a 750, the Corsair TX750 in here, because if I had that there, I would be able to get the SSD into the budget. So I searched around and then I found this power supply, which is all around 5-star reviews. Maybe 1 4-star, and considering it's only $75 and it's got enough power for this build, that's a very good deal. And down the line, if you find that it won't suit your OC needs, you can always just upgrade it to the TX1050. That's another upgrade path for this build. As this build is very upgradable, provided AM3 Plus stays healthy for the next couple generations. I know for sure that AM3 Plus will probably be eclipsed when DDR4 comes out. They'll probably make an AM4 socket. Alright, whatever. And now to the second most important part of the build, the optical drive. Notice again, the least important part probably. $20, it's good enough. In fact, I might just start skipping on this, but I'm not that lazy. But I don't think it would make much of a difference in these builds if I just skip down on showing the optical drive, because you already know what I use in these types of builds. Okay, moving on to the case. The case is a Corsair Carbide 200R. Now this will fit the graphics card. It can fit the gigabyte card, so it could probably fit this MSI card as well. It's got solid build quality. It will hold the hard drive, hold the SSD, hold the optical drive. It'll hold pretty much everything here. And you might add another upgrade you could make later on is change out this stock, pretty sure 120mm fans for some Corsair SP120 fans to improve your cooling performance. It's also got two USB 3 ports, which is pretty good for a budget case like this. At the price range of $60, it's a very good deal. So going back to the parts list for this, the total price is $1,005. Dig under your couch, $5. There you go. And I didn't include the OS in this build for